You must be jet lagged. I bet. I bet. Our trip coming back from Paris was delayed by a full day because there was a valve issue on the engine. And so, I mean, they had to fix it. But, yeah, so we stayed over. United Airlines put my dad and me up in a couple of rooms at some place in Washington, D.C. So we made the most of it. Yes, it was Dulles. Absolute worst airplane. Or yeah.
Close enough. If I can hide, that's good.
Yeah. This is the only time we've ever had issues. I otherwise like them a lot, but the woman that put us up kept giving us wrong information. So we went to Dulles, then we had to go to the other one, Reagan, and then we had to go back to Dulles. It was just like, it was bad. Yeah, but we got to see lots of the cool monuments on the Washington Mall. So it was great.
And how was your trip?
It's great. It's so good. Yeah. God, I love Paris and London, of course.
Yeah.
The Netherlands,
Who's
wonderful.
Tony's?
It was in Germany and the Netherlands.
So let's do that.
Europe's great.
Okay. All right. Are we ready?
I'm amazed
Everybody's
that
got the
you're
microphones on?
right after. Good job.
Okay. All right. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. This is a public hearing, but we're going to first do the Pledge of Allegiance. We'll do roll call, and then we'll start moving towards the public hearing. So let's go into the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, let's do roll call real quick. Counselor Myers.
Here.
Counselor Cuthbertson.
Here.
Counselor Williams.
Here.
Counselor Lindner.
Here.
And Counselor Ray. Here. Great, thank you. Okay. Can I have a counselor read the purpose of the hearing tonight?
I'll read it.
Thank you.
The City Council is holding a public hearing on potential actions on the Monroe Community Library, including a declaration that the Monroe Community Library is surplus City of Monroe property and proposes the disposition and donation of the library to the South Benton County Enhancement Agency, otherwise known as the SBCEA. The City Council will hear public comments and discuss the potential actions regarding the Monroe Community Library. This is a public and open meeting.
Thank you, Counselor. Okay, before we go into the public hearing itself, there's something I would like to read. So I hope that you all remain patient. Why, it's a statement that I would like to read for everyone in the room. Okay. Before we proceed with the opening of the public hearing, I would like to mention typically a staff report is provided by the city administrator to the city council. The staff report provides additional details and background on the current situation to be discussed in the public hearing. So the council and hopefully everyone here and the community understands the scope and impact of potential actions the council may take when rendering a decision about after the conclusion of the public comments, as well as the public hearing. Since the city of Monroe has no staff currently available to provide this report, I'll provide an equivalent this evening. First, I want to recognize that social media does continue to play a role in engaging with local government. I'm pleased to see some members of the community posting on social media with questions directly to me. Last week, after posting the public notice for this meeting on both the city of Monroe and my own mayor Facebook and Instagram accounts, there were questions about SBCEA. Specifically, those questions were about why the library should be donated to this particular organization. One individual posted and asked, what is the benefit of SBCEA being the recipient of the library? And it's a great question, and hopefully I have a great answer. Now, to answer this question, I'm going to go back in time a little bit and provide some background. So please bear with me. So the South Benton Community Enhancement Association emerged from the Monroe Strategic Planning Task Force in the mid-1990s and received its nonprofit 501c3 status in 1999. SBCEA's mission was and continues to unite the communities of South Benton County, preserve their heritage, and provide a positive environment for youth and families. Many of you who live in South Benton County may be aware of two youth summer programs which SBCEA partners with the Alpine Community Center to provide annually. Those programs are Art in the Park and Read on Wheels. Art in the Park hires local high school students to help run a 6-week arts program for children in grades K through 8. Read on Wheels provides a bus that takes books, flipping the page, sorry. Provides books that actually, for instance, goes to children's homes, and they're given an opportunity to board a bus to either have a book read to them or to read a book to a volunteer on board the bus. Each child then receives a book to keep. And I personally know of dozens of kids, particularly in the Art in the Park program, that have benefited from both of these programs. So now I'm going to flip us forward a little bit, 8 years later. So now it's February 2007. And the community effort behind a new library in the South Benton County area was in full swing. And that effort was given an official name, the South Benton Library Project. At that time, South Benton Community Enhancement agreed to sponsor the library project. SBCA was still and is still a nonprofit organization. With SBCA sponsorship, it opened up the South Benton Library Project to new grant opportunities. Also during this time frame, the Monroe City Council passed a resolution supporting the South Benton Library Project. On March 11th, 2007, and darn it, I was not in town when this happened, the former 1913 Southern Pacific Railroad Freight Depot was moved 300 yards north from its original location on Depot Street to the corner of Ash Street and Highway 99W. The Benton County Commissioners provided a loan to assist with the cost of moving the depot to its new future home. If you were living in the area at the time, which I was, you may remember in June 2007 is when the giant 4-foot by 30-foot banner was placed on the outside of the depot. And that was facing Highway 99, and it showed the progress of raising funds for the new library. It had a logo with a steam locomotive and the words linking the past and the future underneath it. I remember seeing the banner, and I know my household donated to the project. Nearly 2 years later, in January 2009, the South Benton Library Project signed a contract to purchase the property where the library would be eventually built on, located on Ash Street and the corner of Ash Street and Highway 99W, from Union Pacific Railroad, which was the successor to Southern Pacific Railroad. In May of that same year, SBCEA officially purchased the property for $72,000 from the railroad. There were several follow-up tasks after the property purchase, including a wetland survey, environmental land study, partitioning, and rezoning the former railroad property from industrial to public use, with Monroe Planning Commission and City Council approving that. And yes, insurance. Honestly, some things never change with time. The South Benton Library Project and SBCA volunteers continue to keep the Monroe City Council apprised of the new library's fundraising progress and invited council members to join monthly meetings. In April 2009, the South Benton Library Project hosted a kickoff event at the Monroe High School, Monroe High School with SBCEA President Roger Irvin. He was the MC and one of my predecessors, Mayor Frank Thayer, who spoke about the growth of our city and how the new library building will be a beautiful gateway to our town. Mayor Thayer's words still ring very true today. It would take nearly 6 years of fundraising, and I hope I have the number right, $2.4 million in donations and grant funds with an army of volunteers and friends of the library, but groundbreaking for the new library was June 11th, 2012. It was almost another full year before construction of the library was completed. The Monroe Community Library's opening day was Tuesday, May 14th, 2013. In July 2013, SBCA offered to sign the library over to the city of Monroe. The Corvallis-Benton County Public Library System would provide the librarians and the books. The city would own and maintain the building. On July 22nd, 2013, the City Council approved taking ownership of the Monroe Community Library from SBCEA. It's hard to believe nearly 12 years have passed since the library was unveiled to the community. Going back to what Mayor Thayer said, the library will be a beautiful gateway to our town. There is no question the library is a beautiful site greeting visitors, neighbors, and friends to Monroe. And there's no question this council loves the library and supports and honors all the time, money, and efforts it took to bring the library to our community. We treasure it, the community, and history it represents for us and future generations. For the city of Monroe, potentially transitioning the ownership of the library back to SBCEA only makes sense. SBCEA, as previously mentioned, sponsored the original South Benton Library project, and with SBCEA's nonprofit status, made it possible for a new library to be more than just a vision, but reality for residents in South Benton County. SBCAA, yes, I'm gonna start slurring it, my apologies. The South Benton Library project and its volunteers raised funds to build it. With the potential ownership of the library returning to SBCEA, unlike the city, SBCEA has the volunteers, fundraising experience, and resources to ensure the Monroe Community Library will be here for all of us to enjoy for years to come. The city council does not take this potential action lightly, but please understand myself and the council are doing our due diligence to ensure there's a library that will have sufficient, sustainable funding to maintain the big things like replacing the roof or painting the building, or just the ongoing daily things, monthly and annual cleanings, janitorial projects, and finally, providing the proper care this unique library truly needs and deserves to be here for future generations to enjoy. Just so we are all on the same page, there will be no change to the library's location. There will be no change in the library's hours of operation for the public, unless Lori tells me differently. And there will be no change to the library services provided, as SBCA has already signed a new IGA with the Corvallis-Benton County Public Library System for staff and books. The only change is the ownership of the library building. As a side note, janitorial and general maintenance of the library will transition from the city of Monroe to SBCEA after June 30th, 2025, under a separate MOU that was signed by both parties. Please know the benefits of a potential ownership change of the Monroe Community Library to the South Benton Community Enhancement Association, a nonprofit organization with 25 years of community service and support in our community with our library, makes this a simpler decision. We know the library will be in good hands. With that, I mercifully pull us into the public hearing. All right. I will be presiding over tonight's public hearing of the City Council. The purpose of this hearing is to invite public testimony regarding the potential actions on the Monroe Community Library, including a declaration that the Monroe Community Library as City of Monroe surplus property and authorizing the disposition and sale and or donation of the library property to South Benton Community Enhancement Association. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm bringing this public hearing to order at 6:14 p.m. So I ask the audience, is there anyone who would like to speak in favor of this matter? And we don't have a mic up here, so I don't know, we're gonna have to. Okay. I got it.
And there's also this one by the podium. as
Okay,
well.
we'll have to turn that one on,
Oh, okay.
but yes, it might be easier just to do this one. So I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people in the audience that are in favor of this. Nobody wants to say anything? Okay, Roger, go for it.
I'd just like to say that our organization is prepared to take the library should the council decide. But if I ever have to give a history of all this, I want to use yours.
Of course.
Way more than I remembered. And as we go forward, you know, I look back and from the beginning, this was a partnership with the city. And it was always seen as a benefit to not only the residents of the city, but all of South Benton County. And this is the commercial center of the area. It's the right place for a library. We want it to be here, and we will do our best to maintain it.
Thank you.
Wonderful, thank you. Okay, I know he's a hard act to follow, but anybody else? Anybody on the council have anything they'd
Oh,
like
there's
to
somebody
say?
in the back there.
Oh, want to go ahead and come on up? So Christy, we're talking about the library right now.
I know.
Okay.
Can I go ahead? Because this is a planning and this is what is
Okay.
important to the planning committee.
Well,
So hold
I
on.
think we want to wait until the
yeah, till
work
we open the
session.
work session. So sorry,
Yeah,
Steve.
let's-
Sorry.
Thank you.
We'll
Okay.
definitely make room for you at the work
Yep.
session. No worries there. No, I appreciate it. Thank you, Christy. All right, excellent.
You've all seen me before, and I'm really happy that there's been an agreement that the transfer of the library to SPECA makes a lot of sense. As a mom and a former teacher, I was very, very concerned that we would lose our library. And I really believe that a library is a place for the community, all people in the community, no matter what their particulars are, to come together and enjoy and learn and grow and create a place for kids to be safe and happy and in a learning environment. So I'm just very, very happy and grateful that this is going to happen. And I fully intend to participate in keeping it going from here on.
Thank you.
So thank you.
Thank you.
You. Anybody else?
Well, I'd just like to say, I know that in the beginning it felt rocky and it was a little bit difficult, but I'm just thankful to everybody who continued to work together so that we could have a great outcome. I'm super excited to see what's to come next.
Hi, Ashley.
Hey. Hi, everyone. Good to see you again. I'm for everyone else here. I'm Ashley Chavez. I'm the library director of Corvallis Benton County Public Library. I thought I should probably just go on record and say that I'm in support of this and appreciate all of your efforts to make sure the library continues to be here for the community of Monroe, and that SBCA is a trusted and well-loved partner that we have worked with for a long time. Not only from the creation of the South Benton Library Project and all of that, but also more recently, the establishment of the Monroe Library Legacy Fund. They've proven themselves to be a very effective fundraising partner. And so I feel like we have a lot of success in our future and want to thank you for your efforts.
Awesome.
Thank you.
I'd like to say something.
ahead.
I'm in full support of this, of course, having been, yeah. Anyway, I also want to, I don't know if apologize is the word that I want to use, but take some ownership over the fact that we did not have the right staff person involved from the beginning. Not going to use names or titles, but some of you may know what I'm referring to, and I'll leave it vague. I think that we were getting some information that was coming through a filter, and we can't help but think that, or I cannot help but think that perhaps some of the contentiousness in the beginning might have stemmed from that. And so had we started off on a different foot, I think that it would have been a lot easier from the beginning. That's all I'll say. I hope that's all right.
Of course. Thank you. Okay. Anybody else in support that would like to speak? Okay, because then I have to ask the next question. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition? You'll probably throw them out of the room, but I'm just asking. If there's anybody in the room that would like to speak to that, I don't think there is, but I have to ask. Okay. Yeah. Okay, well, this is probably one of the quicker public hearings that we've had. I'm going to go ahead and that took all of 6 minutes. So I'm closing the public hearing. So right now, what's going to happen is the council is going to deliberate right in front of your eyes, and we're going to discuss, and then we may vote as well. So councilors, you should have a resolution. If you don't have the resolution, you can cheat and look on mine. Here You should have the copy of the quitclaim deed in your packet too. And so if you don't have the resolution, I've got it here. Happy to pass it around. Yeah. Oh. I had help on the resolution, just to make sure we were square. Okay. Yeah, I didn't include it in the email. So. Yeah, you're welcome. Anybody on the other end of the?
We just discuss this before.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Just because I looked at it earlier today.
And I might actually have one of the counselors read the resolution too. Okay. Can I get a volunteer to read the resolution?
I lied. I don't have a copy of the resolution. I have something else.
Would you like to read it?
I would love that. Thanks. Or I would love for
I
someone.
get you a copy. I need it back. though.
Read it and
That's the one
look
I'm
at it at
excited.
the same time.
That's, yeah. Feed two birds with one stone. All right, resolution number 2025-18, a resolution declaring the Monroe Community Library as City of Monroe surplus property and authorizing the sale of the property. Whereas the City of Monroe, hereinafter city, owns the Monroe Community Library, the property, which is more particularly described on Exhibit A attached hereto. And whereas the property is no longer needed for city purposes, and whereas ORS 271-.310 provides that the city may dispose of surplus property by any means in the best interest of the city. And whereas the transfer of the property to the South Benton Community Enhancement Association, SBCEA, substantially promotes the public interest. And now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Monroe as follows. 1, the property on Exhibit A is declared to be surplus excess property and no longer needed for city purposes. 2, ownership of the property will be transferred via quitclaim deed to the SBCEA. 3, the mayor on behalf of the city is authorized to sign all documents to transfer ownership of the property. Passed and adopted by the City Council of the City of Monroe this 14th day of April 2025.
All right, so any discussion on the resolution? Any questions by council? Nope. All right. Well, then I need a motion.
I'll make a motion to pass resolution 2025-18, the long title that followed.
A resolution declaring the Monroe Community Library as City of Monroe surplus property and authorizing the sale of the property.
That's what she said.
Yep, that's what she said.
Thank you.
Who would like to second it?
I'll second.
All right, excellent, thank you. All right. Any other comments, questions? Okay, shall we vote then?
Yeah.
Counselor Myers,
Yes.
Counselor Cuthbertson,
Yes.
Counselor Williams,
Yes.
Counselor Lindner,
Yes.
Counselor Ray.
Yes.
There we go. Congratulations. All right, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm closing this public hearing completely. We need to pause that. And I heard there was pictures or something we need to do. I need to sign the resolution. Roger, I don't think we can do the quick claim deed unless we have a notary. Do we have a notary in the room?